Podcast.
Welcome to the Battlefield Podcast. It's July, folks. 4 p.m. in the West Coast. The latest news. Just started. More discussion. Ghost Town. The Apache. More exclusive. No comment. More fun. That's from Flamehead. And more news teabags and AR podcasts.
Welcome to episode 13, the season finale of season 3 for Battlefield Podcast. I am Ola, aka Chalk1, and to my right is Sean, aka Judgment Day 61.
Hi everyone, glad to be here tonight.
Below me in the empty seat will be Hikon, aka Chalk2. He'll be back after he's eaten. He couldn't take it anymore. Next to him is Tim, aka Darkness429. First of all, this is take 2. I screwed up the first one, so that was good. Now we're going to do it again. It'll be quicker, because it's very hot in here, but unfortunately we can't help it. So, the first thing first is that this is the last episode of Season 3 of Battlefield Podcast, and it's the last episode of Battlefield Podcast as it stands. We're still going to continue doing a Battlefield Podcast show, but it's going to be done under the Don't Revive Me Bro podcast title over at battlefieldo.com. There's going to be more information posted on our website as well as over at battlefieldo.com, so if you want to read up on that, ask any questions, you can do that there. Show format won't change much at all. It's going to be more of the same, but with a larger audience and a larger pool of guests, so we can get some pull with people from DICE and people from around the community. So, just more good stuff. Now, let's talk a little bit about some of the Battlefield news that happened over the last couple of weeks. We've got the Premium Soldier upgrade for July, which is a bunch of weapon camos and a couple of soldier camos as well. Pretty difficult assignments to get.
Yeah.
But
yeah, definitely going to take some time. But I don't think they wanted to make it easy. I think they wanted people to work for it a little bit for camouflaging their guns.
Yeah, there was a bit of controversy over that it's just some weapon camos for the same guns that already got weapon camos in the first upgrade with Premium, but it is what it is. There's some challenging assignments for sure. They're going to take some time. One of them is a total of 1,700 kills across the various kits, so it'll take people some time, but it is what it is, and it gives people something to do. Unfortunately, they're not showing up on Battle Log for some reason, so it's a little difficult to track your progress outside of the game.
Yeah, I was looking for those quite a bit, and it was like, where are they hiding those at? And couldn't find it anywhere, except for at the end of a round where it shows them in there for the 25 seconds that you have before the next round starts.
Yeah, and it's a little tricky to find it. So what happens as soon as the round finishes, it shows up any assignments that you made progress in, and then it goes to the assignment screen where you can actually scroll all the way down, find those 5 new ones, click on one, and it will give you the details as to how many kills you've done or whatever.
Yeah, when you pick it down at the bottom, the screen, bottom left, it shows you how much you've progressed, what you need to get to, all that good stuff. So it's good there. It's just strange that it didn't make it to a battle log.
Which one do you guys think is the most difficult one of these?
I think getting the AT mine kills is the hardest one.
Yeah, 20 of them.
And also, I think just the engineering one in general, because you also have to do the destroy 5 air vehicles with AT launchers. So if you don't have like a SOFLAM set up and you can use the javelin, try to hit it with the smaller, the RPG is a little difficult.
Yeah, it's not too difficult if you do have, on some maps, people will have SOFLAM up all the time, so you have to be a little bit lucky as to what your teammates are doing, but I mean, actually, all you would need would be nice to just get one javelin shot on a full transport helicopter. That would give you 5.
Yeah.
Well, actually, no, it's 5 air vehicles. Sorry, it's not. Never mind.
Right. You have to just kill the helicopters. You have to get 5 helicopters.
Yeah.
So
for me, since I don't play sniper much, the sniper stuff I pretty much don't even mess with.
Well, one of them is a 350-meter headshot, which is quite a long distance away, so it takes a little bit of time, but if you know what you're doing, and if you pick the right map and you get lucky, I mean, in some way, with a headshot of that length, you're going to have to find somebody that's standing still, or even better, laying down, or something like that, so...
Yeah, it's not going to be on close quarters.
No.
There's actually sniper servers set up. And people just, they snipe at each other from across the maps.
Oh, really?
Wait a minute, is that...
Yeah.
That doesn't sound legal.
Well, it's not fun.
I should have played on this, Tim.
It's actually fun if you want to just get better at sniping people. It teaches you how to use. Yeah, they're like unranked servers. They're all European servers too. They're like French and German servers.
Yeah, those French and their sniping. I don't know. Yeah, it's nice. It's something to tide us over until Armored Kill or until next month's content drop, whatever that may be. So it will keep people busy, especially if they're trying to get them all. It's pretty difficult. I tried fairly hard to get them. I've got 2 out of the 5, but there's still a lot of work left to be done. So the other thing that was finally announced was look, there's Hequan. He has no idea, by the way, that we started the show again, so he hasn't got a clue. We're live. I need to write up. Hey, he.
Yes,
we started the show on. We started it up again.
Oh, okay. Hello.
How was dinner?
Hequan, you got a little bit right there. No, just kidding.
So we just started talking about the matches feature that was finally opened up. It's been in Battlelog for a while, inactive, but it's now there, and it is what people had, I guess, anticipated it would be. It's a way for you to easily set up a match between 2 groups of people that you can choose from on the Battlelog, and yeah, there you go. There's a text message that I sent you.
Well, and the bad thing is Hequan seen that, and he thought it was Match.com. What a letdown for him it was.
So the matches let you set up the server with all the settings as far as what weapons are allowed or aren't allowed, the map rotation, all those settings, and then invite the teams to it. It ends up saving the match report on Battlelog, so it's a pretty complete system to set up a game between 2 groups from beginning to end. You do still have to rent a server on your own. It doesn't help you with that, so you have to have an IP address for a server ready to go.
Right.
This would have been great a month after Battlefield 3 was released. I'm glad they're doing it, but it just seems like they're really playing catch up on a lot of this stuff, and I think it's a good thing. And if people, there may be people out there that will end up joining up with a clan so that they can start now getting more involved in that stuff. So it's a good thing. But
this will help improve with competitive gaming.
Yeah.
I have a lot of complaints about Battlefield not having the support for competitive gameplay like other games out there have. So hopefully this will help them out a little bit, because they've been using a lot of other websites and other systems to help set the matches for them. So.
Well, with that negative, let me give a positive to DICE, is that at least they're listening to the community, and they could have said, it would have been easy for them to say, you know what, this game's been out long enough, we're not going to mess with the matches, we'll worry about it on some future game. But at least they're, I give them kudos that they're at least adding more content like this to help.
Yeah, better late than never, right? I mean, I'm sure that there's still clans that welcome this, and it probably makes it easier to sort of set up ad hoc matches, not necessarily the ones that are planned way in advance, but just to say, like, hey, let's just have a quick 8v8 scrimmage or something like that, and they'll be able to set it up like that. So the other part of the July premium content is their second video. This one's a weapons guide video that goes through the weapons that came with Close Quarters. Pretty cool video. Probably not a lot new stuff. Sean, you mentioned this earlier, that this also would have been nice a few weeks ago when Close Quarters came out, and we've all had time now to play with the weapon, so there's probably not a lot of new stuff in there.
Yeah, it's kind of a lot of, I found that out when I started using that weapon, that this is what it does.
Yeah.
So, but, you're still, again, giving DICE a little bit of credit is that at least they are coming out with these videos. Hopefully, with them getting set up on this, that these videos will come out sooner on some of the stuff that they may be releasing to the game. As time goes on, that they will, start covering it earlier in the videos.
Yeah, they seem to have kind of tried to space these out. I mean, it's sort of a monthly release schedule. Like every month there's either a video or some sort of free guide or, content drop like the camouflage things. We're not sure, obviously, what's going to come out in August, but there'll be, more of that kind of stuff.
Well, I do have to ask the question, is that, a few weeks ago they had the double XP week for premium players. Does anybody besides me feel like kind of a letdown now when you get points and you don't see the ×2? And it's like, really, that's all the points I got after getting, there was sometimes I was getting 23, 25,000 points in a round. It was like, oh, this is awesome.
I ranked up 4 times in one day. It was now it takes forever to rank up again. So.
Yeah, so I hope they do more of the week long at double XP. It was worth it. At first, to be honest, when it first came out, it was like, really, a whole week? What, are they going to just get us really bored with this? But I was off that week because I was on vacation, so I was able to play
perfect timing.
pretty much every day. Yeah, so it worked out for me, and being the 4th of July, I was able to play and rank up several times and enjoyed it.
I got married.
Hopefully,
so
we'll see more.
I didn't do it as much.
Yeah, you were gone most of that week.
Yeah.
Well, if you would have had a laptop, you could have took that with you and played on your honeymoon.
Just 1 second. Just let me finish the round.
And I will offer marriage counseling later on once you do something like that.
All right.
No charge. Oh, no charge.
Oh, no charge.
We'll stream it live on Twitch. That way other people can get the benefit of it as well.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of Battlefield players out there that they're having some struggles with their wife as much as they're playing during the double XPs.
I know that we're all having some struggles with that right now because we're all supposed to be done with this episode. My bad. Talking about Battlefield's biggest map ever, in the Insight Dice blog, they talked about Bandar Desert, which is the one that we've already seen some bits and pieces of. It's going to be coming out in Armored Kill in September. It's pretty much twice the size of the next nearest map in Battlefield 3 at the moment. It's something like 2,400 meters from one enemy spawn point, jet spawn point to the other. So it's huge.
When I read this article, it was like, okay, now I'm getting pumped up for Battlefield again, for the big, arena theater to play in and have all this gameplay that seems to be kind of lacking in some of the other maps. And even in the article, DICE even says that some of the maps just weren't as big as the avid players, the diehard players were looking for. So definitely they've been listening to the fans and the gamers wanting to have bigger maps. And with the balancing that they're doing, it sounds like it's going to be good.
I'm glad they're bringing back the bigger maps, because that was a big selling point even in BF2. Maps are huge. And they definitely shrunk them down a little bit for BF3, so it's nice to see the larger boards coming back out. So.
And it will help with certain things. Like they mentioned dogfighting on the large maps, which is true that on even the biggest maps we have now, dogfights, yeah, they last a long time, but there's not really a lot of distance to fly from one side to the other. Like it's pretty quick to get across the map in a jet, unless you fly it really slowly, which a lot of people do, but I find really annoying. But I mean, these are obviously going to support.
You need to go hunting for people in BF2.
Yeah.
You have to fly around for a while until you actually get into a decent dogfight. But now you're up in the sky and boom, you're in one.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, sometimes it's nice. You're not spending a lot of time. You're just looking for things. But sometimes it's frustrating because you don't have enough time to settle in and figure out what you're going to do.
Well, even with Caspian, when you're playing on a 64 player and it's totally full, is that it seems overcrowded to where you're running, you don't go very far and you're getting killed. So this sounds like it will be big enough that, you will be able to do a little bit more strategy. The tanks look like they're going to be interesting of having a tank turret on it, but the armor on it isn't going to be as strong, it sounds like.
Yeah, they're almost like a tank APC hybrid. So it's pretty much like an APC with a tank turret on top. So it's faster, but it shoots the same round. I think it's 120 millimeter round. And but like you said, the armor is decreased, but they're a lot faster. So the armored warfare is going to be very interesting. So.
Yeah, it looks very interesting, and it's actually an interesting read because it's written in the first person of the designer, so they kind of go through the thought process behind, this is what I want to do. I want to build one of these big maps. These are the criteria it has to meet. It's neat to kind of see that from that point of view. And I mean, it certainly looks gorgeous. So it's going to be very interesting to see how that's going to play out. And I sure hope that it will satisfy all those people that weren't happy with close quarters, because this is exactly what I guess folks have been asking for, right? Is large maps, lots of vehicles, and I'm hoping that there'll be more than. I don't know. They didn't really say how many air vehicles, for example, but it's always frustrating a little bit when there's one helicopter and 2 jets and 5 people waiting for them. So it'd be kind of nice to see. Not a whole bunch of them, but maybe 2 helicopters, 2 attack helicopters, something like that. It would make it more interesting. Scale it up a little bit.
Well, that and having the transport, adding that in.
Yeah.
Something that was in the previous. That's going to be I think that's going to be neat. It's going to add a new dynamic to the game.
Yeah, the gunship, that's a mobile spawn point, as well as sort of a very powerful. You don't control where it goes, but you can certainly shoot from it, so I think that's going to be interesting to see how they balance that as well. What do you think, Hequan? Are you looking forward to? I think it does. I thought I read that you can't control its path, but...
So does it go around the whole map, or does it just go around like a single flag?
I don't know. It circles the battlefield.
But I'm not too convinced that it's large map, because I don't spend a lot of time in the air. I do most of the ground. Because, I'm not used to the joystick yet with airplanes and all that, so I don't know. And I don't want to walk whatever.
Right.
One's up.
I think that'll be the biggest thing, making sure there's enough transportation for people.
Yeah,
right.
Because people are going to get bored very quickly if they have to walk 800 meters to do anything.
I remember doing that in it was Highway Tampa. Highway Tampa, you got stuck on the ground. It was sucked.
You was hoping that a vehicle would come by and pick you up.
Yeah, exactly. But, most people don't. They just spend in there.
They honk at you as they go flying by you.
They honk at you. Wait,
loser. Yeah.
Yeah, so that, I'm sure we'll find out more and more about Armored Kill, because there's 3 other maps that we haven't heard of at all. So, and September is only 2 months away. Not even, I guess, a month and a half until the beginning of September, so we should find out more and more. Yeah. The other thing that we found out probably way before the time that EA had planned for people to find out is that Battlefield 4 is in development. This came out through a promotional image on Origin for Medal of Honor Warfighter that said that you get access to the exclusive Battlefield 4 beta if you pre-order Medal of Honor Warfighter Limited Edition. First there was some speculation as to whether it was real. Turned out pretty quickly that it was. Somebody obviously probably put that there when they weren't supposed to, or put the wrong image up, or whatever. But it's been confirmed now that Battlefield 4 is clearly under development. DICE doesn't want to talk about it. They're saying, we still have lots of Battlefield 3 stuff to come ahead in the months ahead of us, but I guess fall 2013 is when the scheduled beta starts for Battlefield 4.
And, they're just trying to reassure us that their focus is still on the game at hand, which is nice.
And it's always been that in the past, that you have different teams working on the DLC versus working on patches versus working on new IPs. So,
right.
Well, and as a gamer myself, knowing that Battlefield 4 is going to come out sometime, in the future,
Right.
just nice notifying or saying that that's happening, it doesn't ruin the experience for Battlefield. Yeah, for Battlefield 3 for me, it doesn't ruin it. I know that eventually it's going to come out. That I think we all knew. Everybody that follows Battlefield, they know that that's going to happen because of the great sales for Battlefield 3.
Yeah.
So it was going to come out. So yeah, it was leaked a little bit early, but like they said, DICE said that there's still going to a lot of life left in Battlefield 3. More content coming, more maps coming.
And it provides that sort of continuation. The last announced DLC for Battlefield 3 is in March, I think, of next year. So we know that basically 6 months after that, there'll be new stuff in the form of Battlefield 4. Now, whether that's going to be something along the lines of a 2143, a direct continuation of BF3, or even a Bad Company 3, or something like that, that's not really clear. From the sounds of it, it sounds like BF4 would be in the line of, BF2, BF3, BF4, similar to that, but...
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be futuristic. If it is, just a little bit, not a whole lot, but I think that will ruin things for people because Battlefield 3, Battlefield 2 is more modern warfare. When you got into the futuristic stuff, they gave it a whole different number.
Yeah.
So I think they'll keep it more into modern.
No Godzilla versus like Mothra?
I don't think so. Maybe they'll come out with the mod tools for Battlefield 4 so people can do that. But I guess one thing I was thinking about as we're doing this again is that what I think would be cool, doubt if it will happen, but in Battlefield 4, besides the new maps that they would bring out, since it's going to be the same, it sounds like it's going to be the same Frostbite engine, is carry over Battlefield 3 maps. All those maps that you've been playing, that you could put all those in rotation, continue to play it, for those that, because to be honest, when Battlefield 4 comes out, probably won't be playing Battlefield 3 anymore, in my opinion. Just like with Bad Company 2. When Battlefield 3 came out, I didn't go, there was a few times I went back and played Bad Company 2, and I know there's people still playing it, but went back, played it a few times. Yeah, it was fun, a little different after being in Battlefield 3. But, my goal was I wanted to stay in Battlefield 3, and when Battlefield 4 comes out, I think people are going to migrate to that, and it'd be so cool if you could carry those maps over, because there are some maps from Bad Company 2 that I missed to play, that I wish was in, Battlefield 3.
Yeah. Okay, well, let's throw this question out. What are you guys most looking forward to in Battlefield 4? What would you like to see that you don't have in Battlefield 3?
Supply drops.
Supply drops. I would like to...
Commander mode.
I'd like to see more things from the Frostbite engine, because there's a lot of things that it seems like they haven't tapped into. I want to see weather effects and night and day maps, or even like a time transition from night to day, like they do in Crisis.
That'd be cool.
Rain and snow, maybe like some night maps, like we had in Special Forces, night vision and stuff. That was a lot of fun.
It's really hard to predict that far ahead because we still have all these DLCs to come, and we know what Armored Kill is about, but there's 2 that we really know very little about. So who knows? That stuff could already be included in a future DLC. Night maps, for example. I don't know. I think...
You guys didn't really play the night maps in BF2, if I remember correctly.
It wasn't... I don't think it was one of our favorites, no.
No, it wasn't. It was hard.
Will it make a difference if it's Battlefield 4, though?
Well, you get flashlights now.
Yeah, and one map in Battlefield 3 that's, what is it, the Tehran Highway or something like that?
Yeah.
That it's at night.
Kind of, it is.
Really night,
yeah, it's night enough, though, that when we play that, when I play with the guys that I game with, is that when we go to that, everybody goes, really, we're playing this map? Because they don't care for
There's just so much I don't know, it's like I would like to see actual, like, dark Like there's so much ambient light, it just looks the same to me. I can't really tell the difference.
But if you just play in a dark map, aren't you just going to run around with night vision the whole time? So really you're just playing on a greenish hue map?
Greenish, yeah.
I mean, that's I play with deep vision the whole time. Like if I'm running in a tank or an APC.
Yeah.
I kind of like. I don't know. It works to my advantage. But I would like to just see different things. Mix it up a little bit.
Well, I'm sure that there'll be more.
Brightness to dusk, maybe. Not maybe pure darkness, but that would be cool.
A sunset.
Or have it start raining. That would be cool.
Yeah, more weather effects.
Lightning.
Was that?
And you can get hit by lightning?
Why not?
The other thing that goes along with this is that Medal of Honor will be displayed in Battle Log, so whenever that game comes out, if you own it, your stats are going to show up sort of alongside your Battlefield 3 stuff, which is kind of nice. And I would imagine that Battlefield 4 or whatever future games will use something similar to that. Or the same system, perhaps, even. They seem to have invested quite a bit of time into Battle Log, so I can't see them just ditching it after one or two games. It's a pretty good platform. It's clear that that's what they want to run things off of in the future, so...
Yeah, not that it needs... There's things that need to be improved on it. I think it's always going to be a work in progress, but after being on Battle Log, if you go back to, like, Bad Company 2, the load-in screen for that and setting your weapons and all that, it seems very outdated now after being in Battle Log. So I think Battle Log is a good thing, but I think they still need to have where you can go in and set up your weapon loadouts without having to wait till you go into a match.
Well, I think that's under development, isn't it? Did somebody say something along those lines?
Yeah. No, you're not supposed to talk about that.
Oh, is that the thing?
I don't know.
Ixnay on the weapon thing. Hey, yeah. I don't speak that language very well, so.
No, I haven't. Well, you're from Canada, eh?
Hey. Oh, okay. Hey.
Yowzer.
Well,
But anyway, you were saying that there may be works on doing that. I hadn't heard that, so that's news to me.
I saw something, and it was some guy who actually built a tool. Tim, do you remember the name of it?
It was like a config file editor, but he didn't update it with the new patch.
Right.
But someone posted on the Battlefield forums that it was the same idea like with the BF3 settings editor. It just went into the config files, and you were able to change it, and it would rewrite the config files for you and load it back into the game. But that's just third-party software. It's not like a plug-in for Battlelog or anything.
Right, but I think I read there that he didn't continue it because there was rumor that it was going to be done by DICE in Battlelog. So
I didn't hear that part.
I think it was in the forum. So, all right. Thanks for sticking it out for take 2 of the season finale. Like I said in the beginning, we'll be doing shows starting next week or so for don'trevivemebro.com. Same format. Hopefully less of the technical issues, but now we're always learning and we're always open to your suggestions, so hit us up on the forums over there, and we'll talk to you there, and it's going to be the same faces and hopefully new people as well from the community, so we're looking forward to that. Thank you everybody for watching our episodes throughout the season. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for your support.
Yeah, it's been good. It has been good. And we'll see you on the battlefield, of course, as well. Because we'll always be there.
See you later.
Until then, everyone, thank you.
Thanks for joining us on this episode of the Battlefield Podcast. Report online at www.battlefieldpodcast.com for more information and feedback.